All right. Welcome, everyone, to Radio ALOY on 102.8 FM with the newest news from the Forbidden Wests. That was actually how I wanted to commence this stream before I had technical issues. I hope those have resolved themselves now. At least it seems as if we've got a halfway decent frame rate even downstream. Let's walk around a little and hope that it doesn't dip anymore. And apparently we can not talk to, I think Alva is her name. By the way, I think they kind of went with a... Maybe that's just me imagining things because I know that this is a Dutch studio, but it kind of feels like they let themselves be inspired a little bit by Dutch folklore and things. Okay, I'm getting reports that it's working. That's good to know. Okay, we stopped halfway into this puzzle yesterday because it was a good mission objective and we were running out of time. Of course, then the work thing that made me end right on time yesterday turned out to be something that could have been a phone call, but okay. Was a bit of a scheduling issue yesterday. There you are, live and in vivid color. Good. Thank you, Kim, for that confirmation. Okay, let's see if we can... Okay, yeah. Can get here. And thank you for that follow as well, Kim. I really used my coyote time there. I pressed jump way too late, but the game let me get away with it. If you remember, you know, in Bugs Bunny, or what is it called, in those cartoons with Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, there are these moments where someone runs off a cliff, keeps running for a while without noticing, and only then falls. And basically that's a game design thing, where if the player has already run off a ledge for a little time and then clicks jump, most games will still count that as a valid jump and will not make you fall. Just to be a little more lenient and make the game more fun. And I think this game has that as well.
Ready when you are.
Okay, I guess we're activating this console now and see.
Okay, you ready? On 2. 1, 2.
Commencing adamantine wreath vulnerability test scenario 12C15.
Adamantine wreath? The heck is that? Wow.
Okay, that's where we need to go.
Magnetic field engaged. Initiating biomass conversion process.
Oh. That's not good.
No. How do I shut this thing off?
Failsafe exceeded. Test cannot be aborted.
That's not good. We might get our friends killed.
What is this?
It's the end.
It's how the world ended.
Test complete. Adamantine wreath structural integrity uncompromised.
What did we just see?
Alva. Let's meet below. I'm gonna share a file with you, okay?
Test log, I think it's Tuesday the 2nd? Who cares? I'll say this for the end of the world. It's jam-packed with irony. We developed biomass conversion here. Infinite food for infinite machines. And now we're racing against time to find something to give them indigestion. Well, it works. War machines won't be able to eat the wreaths. But can we deploy them in time? God, I hope so.
I don't understand.
Your ancestors? They were wiped out. Your legacy didn't tell you that?
The time of ashes. But most of the data about that is lost or forbidden.
Well, they created machines that consumed all life. You just saw how. It's a miracle anything survived.
I don't want to know this. This is not why I'm here. I need the wisdom of my ancestors to help save my people, not forbidden knowledge of their sins. I need to find something that helps, something to bring back. The overseers will punish me. Or even worse, people will die. Do you understand? My family, my sister. I left her when she was 14. Already you could see her bones. They will starve.
Alva. Alva. I get it. I do. It's hard to explain, but you and I are working toward the same goal. And if I succeed, your people won't need any data. Things will just... they will get better.
But even if I believe you, my people won't. I need to bring something back.
Okay. Then we'll go to Test Station Ivy. And if I can find a way to kill those vines, then I will have access to the data core. What I need is in there. I'm pretty sure that if I take it, it will unblock access to all the data that this place has. And that will give you something to bring home.
I'm not sure I understand. But every secret makes its own maze. A diviner must persevere. Go on. I'll follow.
We need to keep moving. Test Station Ivy can't be far off.
All right. That's a bit weird. I don't like the society she seems to be coming from. Like she says, oh, the overseers will punish her. I mean, what use? You know, like, she's trying to help. Why would you bother? You know, like, it seems like a weird society if they punish her. Just because she, on a search, couldn't find something.
Another maze. But the road to truth is never a straight line.
It's a bit as if this game thinks organized society in general is a bad idea.
So the metal flowers, what the data referred to as adamantine wreaths, they were supposed to stop the destruction that caused the time of ashes?
Looks like it. I guess something went wrong.
Okay, Aloy is very quiet today. Alright, so, by the way, I hope all of you have a good morning and a fun time so far. And I hope their mornings...
Looks like it goes all the way to the surface.
I think we're under the proving grounds. Maybe it connects the rig to the tower.
Best not to linger here long, then.
the heck? I still don't get... They have several times they've had proving grounds in like some of these old installations, and I don't get... Maybe I need to look up the word. Okay. I guess that was just the other side to our...
So, I never asked. Are you from around here?
No, I'm not. I spent most of my life in a place far to the east.
Oh, we've both traveled a long way then.
Alright. But it's interesting, like, Alva's society, like, doesn't really seem to be very desirable. Which, might come to bite us a little later. So, not looking forward to that. The question is, you know, she seems fairly desperate right now. And, you know, like, not like Aloy that she rises to the occasion. She seems to be very focused on just getting what she needs and not exploring around it to maybe find an alternate route.
Cold and damp down here.
So that doesn't sound too useful. How convenient that we have glowing mushrooms here that provide light. Ooh. That looks suspiciously like it might be a loading tunnel.
Let's find a way to get into the proving ground.
This looks almost like before. Oh. Got our health reserves up at least. Alright. It's basically the same exit room. It just exits onto something else. But like the same door on the right and the same partial view, just no cutscene. And it opens onto water, apparently. And apparently that water here has a seam. Well, that seems a little bit of a bug. That's probably the edge between two textures, you know, and it's not quite matched them up. Shouldn't really be a thing in water. Okay. But
that
I guess
complex should be test station Ivy.
Well, let's hope it holds the answers we seek.
But I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be Dutch. She kind of sounds very like just the tone.
It's so still.
Yeah. Keep your guard up.
Okay, the door back there seems to be locked already. I'm really not looking forward to...
Whoa! It's one of those machines!
It can turn invisible?
We're gonna have to take it out to get into the test station. You with me?
Ah, great. Okay, let's scan it. If we can. Ah, dang it. Okay, weak versus fire. Let's hope we can do this. And where is our stealth thing? Okay, let's find something.
Yes.
Oh, those are berserker arrows, that's not good. I thought those were fire arrows. We don't really have anything equipped. Okay, let's switch to our inventory and quickly find something. Firestorm warrior bow. That looks pretty convenient for something as fast as this. Alright, equip. Whoop.
Can you use this?
Okay, I think it's burning now. And now we can maybe just use our big gun.
Calling my target.
Okay.
Where the heck? Let's strike in unison.
Okay, I think we need to... Come on. Okay, I guess we need to redo some ammo. Where are you? Where are you? There. It looks kind of like when it's invisible that it has a shield or something. Come on. Whoops. Wrong kind of arrow.
Here's ammunition.
I think we're doing damage. That's good. Okay. We don't actually get the indicator that it's on fire now. Okay. Yeah, it looks.
That was amazing. Terrifying, but amazing.
Okay, damage
you
over time.
helped. We should be able to get into Test Station Ivy now.
Okay, let's see what your Dreadwing. Okay. So that's what they're called now. Oh, we got a metal flower from it. That's odd.
It's carrying one of the metal flowers. Is that how they've been distributed? Airdrops from these machines?
Ah. We've learned something. Okay, let's see if Anyone dropped anything? But it doesn't look like it. Okay. And now they've unlocked the door. Ha ha. Game is funny. Firelight arrows. Okay. I guess we're going in then.
There has to be some data here on the adamantine wreath we can use.
I trust your focus will see what mine cannot. Oh, that's interesting.
Find something?
The 4th test station. Willow. It looks like it's underwater.
Huh. That might be worth a look sometime.
Oh, do we get anything about you when we scan? Just your name. Okay.
I must have faith. I walk with the ancestors. We shall find what we seek.
Right.
But so much is still hidden from my focus.
Feeding the world. Talaquino personal log, the greenhouse, September 15th, 2047. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke. Classic quote. But you are supposed to understand the trick once it is done. When the curtain pulls back to reveal the mirrors, yet I still have no idea how we achieved this act of scientific conjuring. It's not just the speed with which the projects have come together or the stability of the results. Despite the complexity of the bioengineering, it isn't even the huge variety of crops that can now be made more heat, drought, and disease resistant. It's the simple fact that all these results are tangible. No announcements in scientific journals, no celebrating predictions born from simulations. Our research has become manifest in physical artifacts. Where a dream took root in an abandoned industrial site 4 years ago, now there stands row upon row of automated FAS farming units, each of which can conduct gene manipulation in the field. The actual field. These robots analyze soil composition, light intensity, temperature, wind speed, and 100 other factors. Then, utilizing the gene sequences we created, they can select or construct a plant to produce the best yields for that location. Of course, all of the crops these units create are best harvested by other FAS machines. But when a population is starving, what government is going to quibble about being forced to use our robots to speed things up? Should I be uncomfortable? Watching Ted Farrow's coffers swell with money from the desperate and the starving? Maybe. But I know that it is his belief, money, and drive that has filled the world's empty stomachs. Desperation can only be experienced by the living, and we have given them back their lives. Us. Our work. Pharaoh's resources. Science's triumph. Together we have changed the world. It's basically the same thing as Elizabeth's stuff, that Pharaoh gave them the resources, and then it gets turned into something bad. Yesterday I thought she was an alpha tester because I thought she said alpha, but it was alva. I wonder if Siri will appear as a pink ghost like that when you address him while wearing the upcoming Apple AR glasses. Alright. None of these computers really...
It seems they were working on other projects, other than the wreaths.
Okay, broken doors. But nothing here really. What's that on the desk? Looks like some centrifuge or so. Where did Alva go again? Oh, over there, okay. Yeah, I think I found that, right? Yeah. That's the one we already saw.
This console's still operational.
Which console? Game.
I can't leave here until I find what I need.
Okay, but that seems like it will be the exit. Okay, this console. Let's see if we can find anything else here. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, what are these? No, nothing. Okay. Not interactable.
Another log.
We're done, in every way. The wreaths work, and Cobble came through, on a way to destroy them. Downloading a coded key into the deployment shell triggers an enzyme that causes the wreaths to eat themselves from within. But it's too late. The latest projections from US Robot Command have swarm reproduction, outpacing our ability to drop the shells by 375%. Not even close. I guess we deserve this. I deserve it for what I made here. This will be my last log before evacuation.
So all their efforts were in vain. They ran out of time.
At least we have the software module they created. It should get rid of the vines produced by the metal flowers. I need a workbench to load the module onto my spear.
There's one back at our camp. The map showed a path leading back there past the next room.
Cool. Okay. Then I guess we'll be moving on. Unless there are any angry machines here. Ooh, nice sunlight. Starlight. Doopy 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 starlight. And lens flare, come on. Yes. Ooh. Does all look kind of pretty. Alright, I'm just hoping that it only applied to this test area and we didn't biomatter convert Alva's friends. That would make her very sad and unlikely to deal with any of our, you know, heathen, or what was it called, forbidden knowledge. From Marjane's letter, it is with regret that I resign. I share that regret, Marjane. You served as an excellent deputy, but no single person is above the team or the project. I came to create life, not to destroy it. After all we've achieved together, I did not expect such lack of vision. Yes, our research has shifted direction, but biomass conversion is no different than burning wood in a stove or distilling ethanol from molasses. It is a method to release solar energy that was captured organically. Yes, there are military applications for this technology, but that does not mean there is a logical moral argument against biomass conversion itself. To say so is emotional petulance, plain and simple. The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. For Nafisi to end her letter with a quotation made it a direct attack. Childish, disappointing, personal. Any sadness I might have had about her departure left me in that moment. I wish her luck with whatever position she is able to find, but the greenhouse will continue on, all the stronger now that it is free from such narrow thinking. I'll sum up with another quote, one better suited to the circumstances. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less. Marie Curie. Okay, or Marie Curie, I guess is how I would correctly pronounce it. She really liked her quotes. And it's funny how still everyone just keeps leaving that stuff lying around. It's such a trope these days. I mean, I understand, you want to, like, if you have a boring moment, like a connecting corridor or something, you want to put something interesting in there. And you want to provide the background for your players. But, it's
In here. We'll have to climb up.
not very
Right behind you.
realistic. The music sounds a bit, what is it, like Spanish romance music.
We can use the line to get down.
Right. Easy. They even gave her a special animation. That's nice. The animation was a little weird and cut short, but
I still can't believe you took on all these soldiers by yourself. But we'd better make haste. After we encountered barbarians, our lieutenant called for reinforcements. They could be here any time.
Right.
okay. So let's workbench, and I guess we can finally get rid of these plants then. Oh, wait, do we have anything? I don't think any of the weapons we want to upgrade. Oh! I guess, no wait, the Delver Tripcaster. Special gear is where we want to go. Installed on the spear, this code module can be used to dissolve the metal flower's vines. Vine cutter. Yes.
Now what?
Now, we get to that data core.
Alright. Oak. Whatever that company is. He looks different than the guys that attacked us, I think. I don't know if that's one of their victims. I'm kind of suspecting that we'll soon be meeting the reinforcements. Ah, okay, we're back here at the entrance, yes. So I guess we've made one circle across the entire thing.
Let's hope this new module works.
We might just bring about the end of everything using plants this time instead of robots. Use melee attacks to open the metal flower, okay.
Flower's blooming. Let's see if the software works.
Okay.
Vines. They're falling apart.
Door's clear now.
big door. You know how much of the map we've just
The data
opened.
core looks intact.
Time to bring Demeter home.
I'm kind of hoping that Alva is real and that she's not connected to the Zeniths in some way. I mean, it makes sense. Like, her backstory, everything, yeah, she could just be from Europe. Makes sense.
Demeter, it's time to go home. To Gaia.
The seed of life. Yes.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Demeter's subordinate function to original code.
Her focus doesn't like that at all.
What did you do? I've never seen my focus glitch like that.
I found a special type of data. It's something you can't read. But they kept a tight grip on the data core. But now you should have access to the central server. All of it. Should give you something to bring home.
You were right. Hundreds of archives. Almost all of it relating to agriculture. It would take us years to get through all of this. But we don't have that kind of time. What you said before about work... Alva! Hold your fire! By the word of the ancestors, you must stop. Come. Look at who you fired on.
That barbarian killed our soldiers!
Only those who fired blindly. She is no barbarian. She gave me the data we need. Come, look at her. Can't you see? Elizabeth Sobek stands before you. An ancestor reborn.
Okay, I completely missed that this might be the ending.
We should bring the ancestor back.
It is we who follow their word, Commander, not the other way around. My apologies, Dr. Sobek. Our people's faith is strong, but there are those who are not as familiar with the legacy as they should be.
You heard the diviner. The data has been found. You two, with me. The rest of you, meet us back at the beach for return to landfall.
I can't talk long. They will have many questions.
So do I. Your people know a lot about the past. And about Sobek, I guess, but they're...
Please, I must know. What you said before about working towards the same goal, how long will it take?
I don't know. A few months?
Then you are my family's best hope. Let nothing get in your way. You have opened my eyes to many things, and for that, I thank you. But now you must go.
Will I see you again?
Soon we return to Legacy's landfall. It might be dangerous for you to go there.
Tell me how to reach it, just in case.
We made landfall on the northeast edge of the sunken city. The currents around the archipelago are vicious, and the only approach is from the south. And it is guarded. Only attempt to go there if you must.
Diviner! What's the delay?
Please, go. If you attempt to stay here any longer, they may want to take you with us, and that won't go well for anyone.
I better do as Alva says. I need to get Demeter back to Gaia anyway. But I might want to head to that tall neck I saw in the forest before I make the trek back. And now I can use the vine cutter on those other metal flowers I found earlier.
Okay, that was nice. Okay, I should have seen that coming. But it was nice that, you know, that they did it this way. Like, they foreshadowed it enough, but it still just surprised me that little bit. Because, like, I don't know, like, how, like, had she heard of Elizabeth Sobeck before? Did she recognize us right away? You know, there's some good questions to be asked here. And, did she just wait? And when we, of course, at the end, when we logged in and said Elizabeth Sobeck, Alpha Prime, which, you know, that showed up a couple of times earlier, that might have jogged her memory and said, wait, I've heard that name, that's one of the ancestors. And she's just using this, you know, logging in as her, and then maybe, I don't know if she's ever seen a picture of Elizabeth. So she might have gone like, oh yeah, right, that's the same face. Of course, we have a really good excuse here, because since I put this Tenakt face paint on Aloy, you know, she might just not have recognized her at first. Yeah, okay, all the dead here are Tenakt and Utaru and things. So I guess that one in the camp before was another one that got a little farther. Okay, let's see. Where was the tall neck that she mentioned? I know we rode past one, but I don't see it anymore. And this path is one we apparently haven't gone before. And that's the greenhouse. Okay. Well, let's go over to that campfire simply because we want to unlock all the campfires we can. So we can return her here more quickly the next few times. But yeah, so I like that she seemed to have the presence of mind to recognize that situation. Okay, but where was that tall neck? I could swear I'd seen one. I'm wondering that she mentions this explicitly, that we can now go back to that tall neck and all the flowers. So, but maybe we should just ride back to get that fog of war cleared. Instead of fast traveling. This is pretty. Really, we can't ride past under that. Collision detection is sometimes a bit funny. Wait, we should have gone across that bridge, I guess. Alright. Oh, what was that? Ah, and there's a tall neck. So how...
Careful now.
Oh. I guess we can highlight its track. And try to find a high enough location from which we can maybe jump down. I mean, this is probably... We can't probably not guide down there. But this looks suspiciously like it might be somewhere to climb up. Let's see if we can get up there and then maybe glide down. Okay, jump over. That looks promising.
Turning into an icicle out here.
Hello? That's a stalker. And there is another... Oh, that's one of those tree buildings. Okay, here you are. So maybe... Let's see, I think our angle is still too steep to even catch, like, one of the handholds at his neck. But let's see, maybe we can do it.
Well, that didn't work. Gotta try again.
Oh,
Those legs look too difficult to climb.
close
I'll have to
though.
find another way.
Okay. So I think the general idea may have merit. Unless we can get up on one of those trees and jump down from there. I mean, these look even better suited, but the question is how to get there. Okay. All right. Come on. Go up. You can do it. Yes. So I think a little earlier. back here. And now let's wait for the big guy to come back again. And try it again. Huh. Weird, my laptop is going to sleep each time. I wonder... Yeah, but I think we're gliding... Hello? Not seeing the... Is this a different location than before? I don't think so. Okay, here you are.
And I missed. Let's try that again.
I was so close. Okay. I think... Okay, I think let's go back for now and continue.
Spotted.
What's the story? Who spotted us? Oops. Okay. That's a stalker. Not good. Why am I already down to nothing in health again? Also, probably on the wrong... Every time I want to shoot, it's just the moment. Yeah, now.
It's burning up with plasma!
Okay, gotcha. That cost us a lot of health. I guess that's why all these health plants are here. Alright. Let's go back to the fireplace and head back to main quest a little bit to get that bit of the story resolved and then see. Oops, that was the wrong one. This one. Fast travel, yes. Alright. Yeah, but that was interesting with Alba. It's really fascinating. Like, I don't know, like, her society doesn't seem super healthy. And I mean, I guess they don't want us, you know, like the behind the scenes reason, not the in-universe reason, is you can't just have Aloy find out all the useful things that these other people know. So, Aloy, of course, has the advantage over them. Like, again, we know that now, that she basically has an admin user account on everything. Okay, that was the wrong, but I guess we can talk to you while we're here.
I see you, champion. I was scouting northwest of here, near the village of Saltbite. There's a place there where the ground is made of metal. Don't know what it means, but it can't be good. Be wary.
Appreciate the warning.
Cauldron Iota.
Ground made of metal?
Ooh.
Shouldn't miss this chance to
There might be a cauldron. And where there's a cauldron, there's machine overrides.
Okay, that's cool. I guess this makes it a little less severe that you need to puzzle-wise unlock all the tall necks now, because you can get a lot of information from the locals now. Alright. Let's see what's changing here. Oh. Some people have something new to say already.
It let them experience a great many things.
Holograms are illusions, though. I wonder if at some point they just couldn't tell what was real anymore.
Maybe. They were intelligent, but that doesn't mean they were wise.
It's always interesting, the conversations you walk in on here.
Looks like you got what you wanted.
Yeah. It's almost time to go after Hephaestus.
Finally. We get to rock and roll. Yeah, at least that's how the old one said it, I think.
He's really finding information here and learning.
Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her bring more plants in here. Not for eating, apparently. Yeah, if you ask me, the place is fine as it is. You know, metal might be plain, but it's sturdy. Nothing wrong with that. Who needs a bunch of vegetation?
That's also nice that they kind of go like, yeah, okay, he is the, you know, the smith, the machine guy, so this place is fine for him. It's probably even some sort of ideal, you know? Thinking like, hey, could we build something like that? Whereas Zoe is, you know, as they've been called a couple of times, although in that case disparagingly, Zoe is a farmer. And, well, not just a farmer, but like she comes from a culture where plants are everything, you know, like it's life. It's their way of life. So even more than just having the job of a farmer. And so she tends to do that a lot. Like, you know, she comes in and brings all the nice, pretty, colorful plants in there. And Aloy, you know, isn't... You could say Aloy is too transitory. She kind of keeps walking through and going elsewhere. She doesn't really settle down anywhere, I think. So, it totally makes sense that she would not care or, you know, like, put any importance on that either way. But, you know, Aloy, I'm pretty sure Aloy appreciates what Zoe is doing here. So, it's just that, you know, she wouldn't have bothered. Because, you know, she'd move on in a few days anyway. She's barely here, as is in the game.
Bet you're used to that focus by now.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I guess that's something. I wish all the other data was as easy to deal with. Now, to be honest, it's hard to understand half of what's on there. And then the other half reminds me, this isn't a fight you can win by just waving a hammer. Which is kind of what I do. But hey, that just means I gotta study harder. Make myself useful.
Just give it time. I should get going.
Say hi to Gaia for me.
I really hope that all our friends get to, get to show off all they've learned here. I mean, why?
Pizza? Apparently it tastes worse the longer it takes to be delivered. Or something like that.
Maybe you can find the recipe?
I think it was just flat bread. With cheese. And some sauce.
I like it already.
This is just pandering.
Aloy, is that what I think it is?
Just need to merge it with Gaia, and she'll have enough power to handle Hephaestus.
Good news. So, what can I do for you?
I hope Zoe's not upset I'm distracting you from your training.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that.
What do you mean? What happened?
Before Zoe found a way to fix the land gods, I suggested that when Gaia was fully restored, she could just make new ones.
Well, once we get Hephaestus, that's definitely a possibility.
That's what I said, but I guess there was something about my tone she didn't like. She got pretty raw, said I didn't understand the way her tribe feels about those machines. Which is true, of course, and the last thing I'd ever want to do is dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you, to see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, I guess I led you into trouble there, didn't I?
Not your fault. Don't worry.
Did you talk to Zoe after your fight?
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
I don't like this conversation.
Better get this to Gaia.
You did it, Aloy.
Let's hold off on the ale till it's over and done with.
I'll let Aaron know.
It's, this bit of conversation was kind of that usual cliche that you hear so often on bad TV, like, oh yeah, I say one harmless thing and the wife is angry at me and it's totally unreasonable and things like that.
Call themselves vegetarians.
From what I'm reading, all the old ones wanted to eat was this stuff called chocolate.
Okay, let's see what you have to say.
Aloy, you've returned. And you come bearing gifts. Does this mean we'll soon be able to uproot the Zeniths from our lands?
That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
You ever play that board game Aaron set up?
Strike? I'm the one who gave it to him. I was hoping it'd distract him enough to spare us that ruckus he calls death metal. No such luck.
It looked like you were working on something over there.
With Gaia now growing in strength, I've been trying to find a way to heal the land gods, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it'd be a good idea to replace the land gods with new machines when Gaia recovers.
It wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for generations. They are not some broken toy to be thrown away. Even if they are just machines doing their job, to abandon them in their time of suffering seems cruel.
I'm sure Varl understands that too.
He does now. I had to get pretty mad at him at first, though.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
Okay, I think we've unlocked that quest already.
What did you want me to do again?
This is
We
just a
need to
reminder.
kill 2 Grimhorns and harvest their control cores. I sent their location to your focus.
Got it. I should get going.
If you need me, you know where to find me.
Alright. Oh, Varl has more to say now?
Need to talk about something else?
Yes, actually. Looks like things between you and Zoe are better now.
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst.
Already done that one. Why did it show up as
I know
new?
anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
I should get this to Gaia.
Please.
Okay. But I guess... that means, finish that conversation. You have another one. That's nice.
You busy?
One must never be idle when at war. But there is always time to speak to one's commander.
Oh, that's not really how I see myself.
It is how we see you.
What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between my people's clans, so I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood and death, but also with honorable deeds and vanquished tyrants. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well, when our mission is done.
I'd be honored.
I want to hear that too. It sounds interesting.
Anything interesting happen while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice with my blade.
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are always up for a fight.
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
I don't think he's the... You know, he sounds like the kind of person who, at the end of the year, still has all his vacation days. Kind of like, no, take a break in between. Oops, sorry. He's like, oh, one at war, one always has to be, one should never be idle. And then, like, yeah, I'm practicing against actual enemies. It's like, what?
I'll let you get back to your training.
And so will I.
Alright, let's see if maybe downstairs. Let's get all those in-between mission supplies. Every time. Like since the front entrance has this desk, I always think this is Aloy's room.
Know about everything.
She can also crank out a whole army of machines to put your side at home when she's fixed.
Well, I guess I just better stay on her good side then.
Sadly, I missed the start of what...
Let's look at this mess of data then.
I think he said something about Gaia. I like Zoe though. She's kind of... She's a bit of the still waters are deep cliche. Like, you know, there's something dangerous about her. Which is really cool. That she goes and, yeah, you know, Gaia can also kill you when she wants to. That's almost like, you know, talking about herself in oblique ways. Okay, let's just quickly refill from our stash while we're here, just to be sure we're not missing anything. And these power outlets still feel weird. Like the outside looks like, you know, German or French sockets. Like this big hole that they sink into. The inside looks almost like, I think that's Brazilian with the 3 pins in line. It's interesting. And I think the sockets... I think they feel like they're a little too large. Whoa. I think someone's been practicing in here. That's a cool machine practice dummy, though. I didn't notice that before. Is that new? I noticed that we had the human dummy. Oh, is there something I can do with you? No. Okay, that's the only scannable thing in the room, apparently, for Shao's token. Okay. No thoughts from Aloy this time round.
Is your focus acting up again?
That's fine. Yeah, usually works if I just flick it a few times with my thumb.
Oh, he's doing percussive maintenance with his focus because he's dropped it in beer again, or what? Alright, let's check on Beta then, just in case she has something to say.
It's you.
Doesn't look like it.
Hi. I'm back. What do you want to know?
Oh, no, she has a few new things.
So, have you been going through more of the recordings for my focus? What about studying Hephaestus? Have you been doing that? A little. It's quite different from the subordinate function that escaped Gaia Prime 20 years ago. How so? It's mutating. Changing its own code. At this rate, we'll never capture it. We'll find a way. If you say so. So, aside from Varl and Gaia, who else have you been talking to? Zoe told me how you met after your escape from the Hades Proving Lab. I had no idea you were severely injured. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on Earth would be doomed. My escape would have been for nothing. But they didn't kill me. And thanks to Varl and Zoe, I was able to recover.
That's actually good way, like, I like this for me as someone who, I mean, on one hand, I play this game daily right now, but, like, it's a huge game, so I guess it's not just for me, it's for anyone. You know, like, you've done so much in this game so far that sometimes you forget some of the details. And yeah, of course, that was how we met Zoe. Aloy got hurt, Val brought her to this Utaru place, and Zoe healed her there. So that makes, so that's a good reminder, and I like having conversations like that. Because, you know, it makes sense that some of your other characters, you know, might have reactions and thoughts about things you've previously done, and that they need to be brought up to speed. And so indicating, yeah, they are exchanging all this information, although, you know, there might be some gaps. You're seeing, okay, yeah, they're having conversations, but it's still possible that someone just forgot to mention something. So you have the chance of saying, oh, I never realized this was the case, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, to kind of add another retarding moment to the game. But on the other hand, you always have an explanation when someone knows something that you as a player know, without you having explicitly told them or something. It's just like, well, we hang around here while you were out there chasing things. And so we just got... So I already know this.
You said you and Varl talk sometimes. What about? He told me about your tribe, the Nora, and the proving ritual you did. I told him if I was born into the tribe, I'd never be able to do the proving. It does require a lot of physical training, but there are plenty of other roles besides being a hunter. I don't think I'd be suited for any of them. Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora, then.
I wonder if this... It must be intentional, right? Like, Aloy is basically being a dick to Beta. And it seems... like, it's not what I... you know, like, what I want to do as a player. But then again... you know, Aloy probably sees a lot of her own, you know, like, faults in Beta. You know, she's a constant reminder of maybe who Aloy was and what character traits and insecurities Aloy is fighting hard to get rid of. And with Beta, they're all at the surface. Beta is so terribly insecure. You know, she's almost this little child at the core of Aloy. And we know that people get the most angry when people basically make the mistakes they have made, or they have trouble not making, you know. Like, you know, you hear these cases where, I don't know, where abusers get really angry at other abusers, kind of to, you know, part of it might just be, you know, like, I don't want to seem like an abuser, so of course I have to be there at the front being against them. Because that's an aspect, you know, that they're hiding or something. I don't know, but like, you know, kind of like that direction. You are most aware of your own mistakes, and so when you see them, or hints of them in someone else, of your own, not mistakes, but flaws. And you know, those that you've identified within yourself. And maybe that's what makes Aloy a bit angry. And I mean, it's... the disappointment is kind of goes both ways. For one thing, Beta comes in and basically tells Aloy, "You're dumb, and I actually regret coming to you now, because I didn't realize how little you already knew." So, you know, kind of, Beta is kind of all of Aloy's insecurities, and then puts something on top where she basically says, "No, you're not good enough." And her entire life, Aloy has basically been the one to prove, who had to prove to everyone that she's worthy, that she can do all of these things, to a point where she has honed herself so much that she actually is better than pretty much anyone else. You know, she killed Regala's champion, so that puts her at like a really high level of skill and training.
You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel? It appeared in my training interface as
Okay, I
another
think this
assignment.
is just what we've
When I
heard
opened
before.
it, there were a series of intermittent glitches.
Yeah.
I realized they formed a transpositional cipher. Instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home. And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it? To them, it looked like I was still in training. Toiling away. Alone.
I just noticed, like, the way her shirt is half tucked into her pants. It's, on one hand, it kind of imitates those little skirts and things that most of the tribals have. But on the other hand, you know, it also makes her look like frumpy and less, you know, it supports her insecurity.
Be going. Okay. Bye.
Alright. Whoops. Pushed a button there that I didn't mean to.
Why is this door locked now?
Beta requested the use of that room as her personal space. I have locked it at her request.
Okay.
I hope that... that's all it is. Like, I don't want Beta to betray us, you know? I don't want her to be, I don't know, either so insecure that she hooks up with the Zeniths again, and I don't
Just be here then.
want her to be, you know, just having come here as a, you know, as a decoy, kind of to keep tabs on us or something, and actually be evil or something like that, or even be planning to do some things in there, you know, that she has hidden, I don't know, override modules or whatever.
Door's locked until Gaia can restore access.
And it would make for a really nice story if, we slowly, get her to come out of her shell. And part of that would be, like, she probably had no privacy with the Zeniths. And so just having her own room where nobody else can go into, that could be an important part of character development. Her taking advantage that she's free now, and that she gets to decide. And, so I'm kind of hoping it's that, and we'll get to see some development. Even if, like, it could be as little as her saying, oh, something, someday I might let you see my room, or something like that. Just to get to see that she's getting somewhere. Alright, and now let's talk to Gaia then, and hope that we didn't bring home a Trojan. That's something I'm still wondering.
Again, Aloy. I see you have recovered Demeter.
I kind of expect the Zeniths. I guess they're not that subtle. They just went like, oh, kill them all, But I kind of would have expected them by now to, if they've picked up one of the components somewhere before we could get it, that they then would have just left a fake to poison Gaia, basically. But I guess they don't have a Gaia, and maybe that's why they're not interested, or why they're not doing something like that, because they actually can't risk damaging her.
With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus, and fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it.
Ooh.
With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores? Where would we find a place like that?
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I know that place. It's near the Desert Clan's capital. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work! I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Pharaoh's Omega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go.
All right. Pharaoh's tomb.
I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood.
All right.
Hi, Gaia.
Hello, Aloy.
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance, I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini.
That's it, you know, she's... so Aloy is she was kind of hoping that either Beta would be, you know, like a sister, you know, like a twin, like having someone to share the burden with. But that's not what happened. Or maybe she even thought, you know, she would be like Elizabeth. You know, but anyway, she kind of had high hopes for Beta. And then Beta turns out to just be basically this broken child.
All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
She doesn't like surprise parties.
Is Katalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone. He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague, to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
Okay, but that looks interesting, yeah.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your Alpha clearance. Which is why you will need to procure Ted Farrow's Omega clearance.
Right. From his personal bunker, Thebes.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in building the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
She's really optimistic there. This game is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm loving it so far. Like, the first one was already really good, and just what they pulled off, and kind of now going more into the sci-fi aspects of the story is also good. Before, it was basically just, in a way, it was just space magic. It was a bit of about finding out what had happened previously, like with our world, to bring about this new world, and then, to take down some attackers. And now they've upped the stakes a little bit, which, I've said even yesterday when we talked a little bit about Doctor Who and stuff, I mentioned that kind of, like, that tendency of, it has to be bigger each time. I'm actually growing a little bit tired of that, so that's, despite them doing that, I think the story is good. Because, before it was just save a bunch of tribes and take down the invaders that were taking advantage of some of the machines. And basically, they were trying to effectively wake up the machines that had killed humanity the first time around. So it was kind of an extinction-level threat again. But, a comparatively small one. And now it's like, the people who caused that are actually back and now trying to finish the job.
There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Farrow create a clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a backdoor to the Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge. My predecessor did not even know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot, one that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus. And fortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco. So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Pharaoh agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass conversion system, but also adamantine wreath. Did Elizabeth know they were working on that?
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to combat the machine swarm, though her focus was devoted only to Zero Dawn.
That makes sense. But they actually got the wreaths to work. If they've been able to deploy it against the Pharaoh Plague in time...
Using the data you recovered on the project, I ran several simulations and have concluded that it would never have worked. In all scenarios, the Pharaoh war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreath before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really was the only solution.
Okay, that's a nice little detail. Because, like, you look at it and you think, like, yeah, I guess they didn't have the time. You know, just... I mean, that would have been enough, but, like, seeing and saying, okay, having that confirmed, actually, it was the only solution. It wasn't... You know, like, you could have thought, you know, maybe Elizabeth jumped the gun, and maybe if Elizabeth had helped them with the adamantine wreath, then maybe they could have overcome it that way. But I guess she knew about this project, looked at it, and decided that it wouldn't help either.
There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about agriculture. Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. The data contains information about novel crop production methods, which may be beneficial to the tribe in the long term.
But new crops aren't going to save the world, so I guess it's on us.
It is.
I found some data in one of the rooms you unlocked. It mentioned that there are still functional seed banks beneath this facility. Why is it there?
My predecessor was tasked with reconstituting the biosphere with primary and secondary plant species. Had everything gone according to plan, humans would have eventually been able to introduce tertiary species, including new crops.
Can we access them now?
Unfortunately, it will have to wait. I require control over the machines in order to access and distribute the preserved seed stock.
And for that we need Hephaestus. It's something to look into later then. So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage. So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
Tremblers? I think, does she mean tremors? It's a little bit of a weird word.
Gaia? What was Elizabeth like?
Her presence is interwoven with my memories. The moment I came online, she was there. We exchanged greetings, names, then set to our task. It was the first of many conversations. I enjoyed being in her company, listening to her stories. She was my creator, my guide.
Your friend?
Yes. When I reviewed the data on your focus, I was saddened to learn of her fate. Though I am glad she made it home. I deeply wish she did not have to be alone.
She was okay with that. She gave all of herself. The only one who could. Thanks, Gaia.
But wait, the way I remember the previous game, Elizabeth was still talking with Gaia. Like, I think her last message was like, talking to Gaia, wasn't it? So, she wasn't that alone.
So, Project Zero Dawn. The greatest minds in the world, all working to build the terraforming system while the Pharaoh Plague devoured the planet. What was it like?
Personnel worked in rotations, at all hours of the day. Resources and technology were secured from across the world. Within a month of the project's conception, I was launched and began my education. Elizabeth encouraged me to spend time with the rest of the Zero Dawn staff. She said it was important to experience many personalities and perspectives to aid in my emotional development.
What were they like?
Scared, hopeful, determined. They were hurtling toward technological achievements on a scale never before attempted. I owe everything to their dedication.
I should be going.
Goodbye, Aloy.
All right. And I guess the main quest leads us to Alva and her friends, which of course might cause a little bit of trouble if they're overseers and the soldiers she's working with
I'm quite certain
are the way
it's a unique situation.
we've learned.
I know that. But if there were two of me walking around...
I'd run for the hills and never look back.
Come on, I'm being serious.
So am I.
That's just I hear about you going west.
Turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
How are things with Katalo? You still scared of him?
Oh, she thinks she's funny. Actually, I played strike with him. I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear it. You've been looking at any interesting data?
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at a while back, and she found the mother of all forges. They called it sports. Turns out the old ones spent a lot of time tackling and punching each other for points in one game or another. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
I need to get going.
I think I know the answer, but are you sure you don't need any help? Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
I'm not sure. On one hand, in games it's always a bit annoying when you have to fight with NPCs because, they're just not smart enough to not get in the way. But it would be, like story-wise, it would kind of make sense if we had more quests together with our companions here. Like, in that regard, I think maybe a Horizon 3 or something could become more Mass Effect, That, in Mass Effect you always take 2 companions with you, just like as backup.
I'm sorry, Aloy. After all the trouble you went through, you have to head west again.
Well, no one said this was gonna be easy.
You sure you don't want any backup dealing with the Quen?
They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so. Let me know if you need anything before you go.
You better not be slacking off on your studies while I'm gone.
And risk Zoe coming after me? I value my life. In fact, I've been reading about Ted Faro. How he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work. Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that everything's about to change. We'll get Gaia, and she'll help us set things right. No more zeniths, no more derangement. It'll be a different world. I welcome it, but I wonder how the Nora will react. And the Karja, and well, everyone.
Let's just focus on fixing Gaia for now.
You're right. We've got an angry AI to take down.
I'm kind of wondering that a little bit myself. We have Horizon Zero Dawn 2. So of course Sony hopes there will be a Horizon Zero Dawn 3. 4, 5. So if this is to be a successful franchise, what will they do? Will there be will it be will we even succeed, or will we get like a half success with a damaged Gaia at the end so that the immediate threat is resolved but the next game can have another one? Can we even keep going with these threats to Earth? Or, will Horizon 3 just be a story where, for example, we go to Europe and help the Quen because maybe, we've generally saved the world, but there's like pockets of deranged machines still there somewhere. Something like that, could be. I mean, of course, you could always go the route and say, well, for example, Hephaestus, the original Hephaestus, without the new code in it that we're going to delete, still existed somewhere and downloaded itself or something like that. You can always stretch it out and give us a new enemy for the next game. But, I wonder how they pull it off. Of course, you can't. While creating a story, you have to create the story. You can't, if you look at, what was it, the Universal Horror Universe or something is, I think, what they called it. So Universal has the rights to The Mummy and Jekyll and Hyde and, lots of old movies that Universal Studios made, and they thought they could do a Marvel Universe with that, and you got that The Mummy reboot a couple years ago with that, with I think it was Tom Cruise and what's her name, Sophia Boutella or something like that, as the mummy. And that movie just spent so much time setting up a franchise and so little time actually being a good movie by itself that it tanked the entire thing. And that's the difference. Marvel, they just made Iron Man and the Hulk movies, you know, and then and maybe put little Easter egg wink wink moments at the end that hinted at a greater Marvel universe. But they were really just hints, just based on the comics, basically, you know, and not actually related, and didn't actually take over the movie itself. The movie itself perfectly worked without these tacked on things at the end. And so they first and foremost made good movies and then made a Marvel universe around them, which, you know, given the comics were the same way, that they were their own stories first, and then occasionally they mentioned things from the other comic. That's how it became a larger universe, or with, you know, crossovers and things later. And so, of course, for Horizon, you have to take the same care. That you first and foremost make a good game, and then maybe wonder how you might make the next game. But I think they should still be... They probably still have it in the back of their head. We cannot just solve all the problems. Like, they will do some minimal solution where, you know, the Earth is saved. And I'm kind of wondering how far they will go, like how much we will get to see. And whether there will be something obvious that goes wrong or not.
If I get Omega clearance and then we grab Hephaestus, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once.
What I wonder here is... This is dangerous, you know? Like, if they do these pulses and we fight Hephaestus and integrate him. And of course the problem is the Zeniths might come down to one of those cauldrons and might, you know, attack Varl, for example. And nobody's mentioned that yet. Like, how is Varl even going to fight a Zenith? Like, we have no answer to that yet.
I'll be in touch if I need anything.
I'll make sure Beta briefs everyone on the pulse generators.
Good.
Okay, let's talk to Zoe. And I think Kotalo might have something to say as well.
Aloy, I hear you're going further west past the Tenakth clanlands.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that lies beyond the western coast. They call it the Isle of Spires. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touch the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Ted Faro would do.
Okay, so I think we've already seen a hint of cities underwater over there, so I guess most of California is underwater.
You and Varl doing okay? Training, I mean.
We're doing fine. Although I admit it'd be nice to take a small break from studying, just the two of us. But then who'd look after Erend?
Well, there's always Kotalo.
Leave a loud Oseram with a brooding Tenakth. What could go wrong?
What's everyone been up to?
I've been trying to share some of my meals with Beta. Thought it might help her feel more at home. Maybe even get her to sleep up here instead of in that dark basement. She would not be moved.
I appreciate you trying.
Patience reaps the best harvest. I'm not giving up hope yet.
How much have you read on Ted Faro?
Enough to wonder how a man who worked so hard to heal the world once could let greed and pride condemn it so easily. For one's spirit to diminish in such a way, I'm not sure if I should hate him or pity him.
Well, I should get going. Hopefully I can bring back what we need to capture Hephaestus. After that, I'm gonna need everyone's help.
We'll be ready.
It's always the game turns you away from them so they can reset the characters to the next story animation or whatever. And so I always see Kotalo in the background, but then I'm turned around and always do the whole long tour around until I find him again. Okay, he has something.
Got a minute?
As many as you need.
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in fog.
Yes, and I'm looking for a tribe, the Quen. I encountered them once before. They said they came from across the Great Ocean. I was hoping that Tenakth knew more about them.
There were rumors of trespassers in the area, but we thought they were just bandits. Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but I don't recall them reporting back. We've had more pressing concerns, as you know. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you.
It's okay. I guess I'll find out soon enough.
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's personal. If you have a moment to spare.
What do Tenakth do to relax? You know, to take a break from training?
We play strike. Your Oseram friend, Erend, is surprisingly good at it, although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically, hones the mind for tactics.
Somehow that still sounds like training. Found anything interesting during your training?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the Ten fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of greedy leaders, as they vied for lands and spoils. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line when conflicts arise.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts in the first place.
Yes, of course. Hikaru would have it so as well.
We haven't checked in with Hikaru in a while.
You said there was something you wanted to talk about?
I've been speaking with Gaia. She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make themselves stronger. I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a thing if I can get the necessary data and materials. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the Zeniths.
Their ancient research lab.
I am not as familiar with old world machinery as you are. I could use your assistance.
It might be dangerous. The Zeniths probably still keep an eye on that place. We were lucky to get out of there alive the first time.
I see.
It sounds like this is worth the risk.
By the 10, we shall see it through.
I mean, I've said what I think about this before, you know, like giving him a robot arm is kind of it's always what you know, sci-fi games do at some point, or even magic games, you know. So at some point they go, okay, he gets a new arm. But I would kind of like it if it was, you know, less new arm and more maybe new weapon or something, you know. That they, you know, that he gets, like, maybe even designs a weapon that he can use one-handed that helps him, you know, make up for that disadvantage in combat. Like, if you are with one arm fighting enemies with two arms, then of course you have to find a way to, you know, to make being one-armed your advantage, and find any disadvantages to them having two arms. And kind of, you know, like, you just have to work with what you have in battle. Or in life in general. And stick to your advantages. And, like, too many computer games seems to be, or also comics and other stories, seem to be going for, you know, either they go, well, I have my brain, and then they just sit them down in front of a computer, and, you know, they do the research and they hack stuff and things like that. So they leave the combat position and go more into combat support. Or it's, well, we build some machine to make them normal again. And I kind of liked that he wasn't normal and he still fought, and I wish they'd let him just accept that. So we'll see if he actually gets a robot arm. I'm kind of hoping that that's just a misdirect, you know? That he thinks we're getting a new arm, and then they find, well, that's not something that works. But, you know, maybe he gets something else. Like, they could go the brain route and say, hey, you know, maybe we find an experimental focus that somehow, you know, isn't just a thing that you attach. And then, you know, we cyborg him a little, but he still only has one arm or something like that. I don't know. It's, you know, it's kind of... On one hand, yes, he has a combat disadvantage the way he is now. But that's not necessarily not having a second arm. That's just not having adapted his weapons and his fighting style to that, you know? I mean, they could give him, you know, just if we could find him one of the shields, for instance. That might be enough, you know, just a shield, and maybe he can trigger that with his focus or something. I don't know, that would make the story just, you know, that, just getting him a new arm, if that's really all we do, then that's just a standard plot. Which I kind of feel like the plots in this game have been, like, they have a great premise and a great world, and that modifies everything that happens. But in general, the story is fairly straightforward. So I'm thinking we will probably just get that, but I'm wishing that they'll surprise us and that they will go, no, that's not how it'll be for him. He's not just getting an arm. He's getting, you know, he's looking for one thing that he thinks he needs, and finding the thing
I should
he
get
actually
going.
needs.
I've got a long road ahead.
Oh, wait.
Should you need reinforcements?
No, wait.
I know who to call. I'll call you when I'm near the Zenith lab. We'll get what you need for that new arm of yours.
Thank you, Aloy.
But at the least, I'm interested what kind of a design they will go with for that arm. Because, like, if you look at all the machines and the machine parts, you know, they could give him an arm that basically looks like Quen armor, you know, just these machine parts, just that you don't see any skin peeking through. Or they could go, you know, like full-on steampunk. Okay, now let's see, where is...
Ah, there it is.
Where are the stairs? Oh, and... yeah, so we need the stairs to get in touch with Beta, but we also hear that she opened a door next to the servers. So yeah, that's finally open. Interesting. Okay. Do you have anything to talk about?
Hey, me again. Was there something else?
You know, I've said a lot of things like how Aloy feels that on one hand Beta is disappointed in her, but on the other hand, also that she's not at all, Beta is not at all what Aloy expected. But of course the same has to apply to Beta. She probably looks at Aloy and on one hand goes like, well, she's a primitive, but on the other hand, you know, might admire her optimism and her skills, that she is a warrior now. So they're both kind of looking into a mirror and finding things they like, and probably things they dislike.
So do you have everything you need to build the rig and pulse generators? Gaia sent me the schematics. The designs are modest, without the capabilities of Hephaestus, but they should work. Not that it matters without a mega clearance. I'll find it. Just try to have the transport ready by the time I get back. It's time for me to go. I'll check on you later.
Yeah, sure.
Huh. The door's unlocked now. What was this room for, Gaia?
This was intended as a diagnostic center to monitor machine activity in the repair bay below. It appears most of the equipment was damaged, likely from Minerva's control of this facility.
Yeah, she did try really hard to keep me out. Looks like a power cell could fit here.
Alright, so we have to find a power cell somewhere nearby.
The vault.
I've got to be more careful.
Behind the vent in the basement.
Jensen almost caught onto my plan while we were going over the diagnostic center specs. I've got nothing against the rest of the team. It's just... I'm sure they've all got family they're gonna meet up with in Elysium. But me? I couldn't even bury August. There is nothing of him left besides my memories. I won't let those blink out of existence too. The vault's for us, no one else. 11 more weeks before we lock the blueprints. Then the rest will be up to Gaia.
Okay, I guess those are empty power cells. I'll have to remember to come back here if I can't immediately find a power cell somewhere. I don't think there is one. Okay. And that's the elevator, isn't it? Yeah. Aloy. Okay. Well, I guess... Oh. There's an energy cell. I guess we're good then. We just have to go down again. Okay. That was quick.
Okay, that console has power now.
Ah, the one that was orange.
From the looks of this data, Festus has been trying to hack into the repair bay. Okay, doesn't look like it's been able to.
All right. Power supply unit malfunctioning. Energy cell irretrievable. Okay. So who knows? But I guess that's what we know. The Festus has tried to hack in here. Alright. I guess that's it then. And this is where we're ending the stream. And next time, I guess we'll pick a new quest and find out what's going on. Thank you for being here, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your Wednesday or whatever day it is in your time zone. And see you tomorrow to continue this. Bye-bye.